Hello, and welcome back to Gaming with Bigby. I am Bigby, and as you may notice, if you're looking at the world behind me, you notice that this is not the Minecraft UHC world that you have seen me playing in for the last 5 UHC episodes. This is in fact a super flat creative world, and I've come here because I wanted to discuss something of particular importance to the Minecraft community. As many of you may have heard, the new 1.9 combat patches are out. They've had, I think, 3 or 4 of them at this point. At the time of this recording, and there's been a lot of controversy going on around the content of the patches and the changes that they've made to combat, and there's a lot of some people that are very appreciative of it, and there's quite a lot of outcry from people who don't like it. And I simply wanted to address some of the controversy here and just talk a little bit about some other things. First of all, before I go any further, I want to take a moment to thank Mojang and to thank all of the guys over there that are developing Minecraft. Thank you so much for developing this fantastic game. You guys do fantastic work, and we really do appreciate everything that you do. Now, having said that, regarding the controversy, as many of you have seen in some of the videos that have been put up, or if you have tried out the patch yourself, you've seen that the combat changes introduces a few new elements. First of all, we have the shield, which is, I think, a welcome addition to the combat. I think it's a really neat concept, the idea of being able to finally use your offhand, or to switch hands, to be left-handed or right-handed, or have a shield or not have a shield. I think it's a very, very neat option, and I think something that's long overdue for Minecraft. However, there's another change, and that is to keep people from doing this, spam clicking their sword. They have a built-in lag and a built-in charge up on the sword that you have to use before you can take a single large swing. And I have to say, I come down on the side of those who, let's just say I disagree with the change. I don't think it is the right direction for Minecraft. I don't think it fits well with the history of how Minecraft has worked up until this point. And I just don't think it is the right direction to be going for this. Now, that said, I should very, very clearly state that I do not like the fact that PvP up to this point has basically been dependent on click spamming and having an excellent connection and a very fast computer. I really don't think that that those factors alone should be the only factors that determine how well one does in PvP, which by and large they are. Now, there is some strategy to it. There's a little bit of strategy. There's a little bit of a little bit of technique, but beyond that, there's not really much to PvP. It's basically run at the enemy, and whoever hits first and click spams the fastest is the one that wins, and that's it. And in an effort to change this, Mojang has created this new cooldown concept on the swords. And while that's an interesting concept, I think perhaps it's not the right way to be going. And to demonstrate the way I do think we'd be going, I'm going to take us out of F5 mode here, and I'm going to turn the interface back on. And you see that I'm holding in my hand here a standard gold sword. Yeah, I suppose I could have used a diamond one, but hey, let's be different. Let's use a gold one. A standard gold sword kills most cows in a couple hits. Nothing particularly fantastic about it. Now, you'll notice all this other stuff in my hotbar. I'm actually in 1.7.10 using the Tinker's Construct mod. Don't have anything else, just Tinker's Construct. Well, of course, I have Forge loaded because that's a prerequisite for Tinker's Construct, but that's more of a mod loader, not a mod in and of itself. In Tinker's Construct, you have several different weapons. You have what they call the broadsword, which is essentially the same as an ordinary sword. The only difference is, of course, in Tinker's Construct, they have different materials that you can make them out of. I chose the steel ones just because they're most similar to the traditional iron ones. As you can see, boom, boom, kill a cow in 2 hits, no problem. Same with the gold sword, boom, boom, kill a cow in 2 hits. Oh, and I got some meat. And let's pick up this junk off the ground, just keep it clear. But Tinker's also gives you additional options. You have the long sword, which has a hit similar to the broadsword. Boom, boom, 2 hits, takes it down. But it also has this as a special ability. Hold down the right click, charge it up, and you can leap forward and attack that way. So it's basically akin to that, but it gives you a predetermined leap. and it's quite surprisingly long. It's impressive. Um, very, very neat function. They also have the steel rapier. Now your rapier's your quick hitting, spammy sort of weapon, but you see it took 3 hits? It's not as powerful. It doesn't hit as hard as either the broadsword or the longsword do. And its special effect... Now I'm going to take my fingers off of my keyboard. You can hear I'm snapping my fingers. This is the special effect of the rapier. Hit the right click. You jump back. It's got back pedal. So you can strike while you're backpedaling away from somebody and maneuvering, and it gives you a tremendous maneuvering advantage. Basically allows you to run backwards, full run speed backwards, so you can face your enemy. Very, very, very useful tool. Also very useful for maneuvering around. Okay, so that's the rapier. Then we have the cleaver. And the cleaver is an interesting tool. You'll notice you get a bit of a sparkle effect when I'm holding, and that's because actually the way Tinkers makes this work is they add the mining fatigue. Makes it swing very slowly. But one hit. That cow's dead in a single hit. That's all it takes. Very powerful hit. Block as the standard block, of course, as its special maneuver because it's so powerful. A very, very cool tool. They also have the dagger. Hit strength is very, very similar to that of the standard broadsword, but you can throw the weapon. I'm not very good with it, of course. But if your enemy is running away from you, you can hit them in the back with it if you know what you're doing with it. Obviously, they're not the easiest things in the world to use, but as you can see, if you hit an enemy, it's great for finishing off a fleeing and weakened enemy. And these, of course, lead into the various other types of weapons that are available. The throwing shurikens, which you can, of course, pick up. Throwing knives. And cool tools like the crossbow, which do we not have arrows? Okay, I have arrows. I don't know why it's not loading. Well, this one's might be a little bugged. But at any rate, lots of really cool tools and neat options. And let me just hop up here, and this is kind of what I would like to see Mojang do. Instead of simply taking your standard sword and slowing it down and adding this cooldown concept, which really, I think, does great violence to the existing PvP setup. I think it would be far better served to simply add more weapons in. Add variety. Make it different. Make it interesting. Have a slow hitting and a really fast hitting weapon. And maybe, something else that has a really cool, like a jump charge. Oops, I messed up the carrots. Oh well. Having these options in standard vanilla weaponry would be absolutely fantastic, and I think would go a long way towards improving the combat in Minecraft without taking away anything from what Minecraft players already know. It won't require a tremendous amount of retraining. It doesn't completely reshuffle and alter the combat as it stands. Companies that have things like Hypixel and other companies that have servers up that have PvP sections will have to make very minor changes to their PvP in order to be able to accommodate a multi-weapon setup versus the new setup, which basically just obliterates what they've got. I don't see any way for them to really accommodate it and really make major changes to it. So I would, if anyone from Mojang is listening, I would respectfully, very respectfully, ask that they reconsider the approach that they're taking in the current Minecraft snapshots and consider looking into doing something like absorbing a Tinker's Construct style mod or taking cues from mods like Tinker's Construct that simply add additional weapons into the game, and rather than alter the standard fighting style, add more content, add new weapons, increase the variety of the weapons that people have, and thus increase the approaches, the tactics that people can use with the various weapons to fit their style. Various weapons fit different skill sets differently, and people will find that one particular weapon may fit their play style very, very well over another, and perhaps even more than the standard sword. So even if it's just something as simple as keeping the standard sword very much the same, perhaps with just a slight swing slowdown to prevent click spamming, having something like a rapier, which is a very fast but lighter hitting but very spammy weapon, and then having something like the cleaver, which is very, very slow hitting but very powerful, would be, I think, a great way to really improve the way that the game plays. And so I would respectfully ask Mojang to consider doing this. That's pretty much all I had to say on this. Please leave your opinion in the comments and tell me what you think. And thank you very much for watching. I am Big Me. This has been Gaming with Big Me, and I shall see you in my next video.